Dear ladies and gentlemen of faith, dear Rabbi Mike Schneier, dear Imam Sajid, thank you all for having the opportunity to speak to you here at that truly prestigious summit. As coming from the youth, we're not so used to having such a forum listening to us. Even more so, we wanna use it. And I want to introduce you a little bit to the things that we've been doing over the last 2 years. Basically, the statement of the problem where we started from was that in recent times, most Jewish and Muslim youth had not have constructive contact with each other. Their opinion about each other comes from either their media, it comes from their society, and it comes from talking about each other and hardly ever talking to each other personally, face to face. So on the other hand, we did have, and now maybe if you look at the screens, you're just going to see some images of the conference from August. We now have, on the other hand, a vast experience attending student conferences. And we saw at these student conferences that it's a concept that works. It's a concept that works on an intercultural level, in numerous occasions, in numerous possibilities and scenarios. So this is why we decided collaboratively to actually have a Muslim-Jewish conference in 2010, bringing together the Muslim and the Jewish youth from more than 25 countries. We had 65 participants coming to the conference from 25 countries. Countries such as Pakistan, Indonesia, Israel, the USA, countries we would never dare to actually think of getting people to Austria in order to participate at a Muslim-Jewish conference.
Wrong name.
We therefore believe that by actually offering a forum which goes beyond the borders of our own dogmas, we show to the world that our collective faith, that the collective faith of the youth, is actually not called by a name, but it's the faith in the possibility of a peaceful coexistence. And therefore we planned this Muslim-Jewish conference together as a way to establish an institutionalized, student-driven dialogue, grassroots-driven dialogue, with the clear aim of bringing together people and scientifically contribute to a decline of stereotypes and prejudices. To give you a little bit the background information, we had 15 students from 9 countries organizing this conference for a period of over 2 years. These 9 countries included students from Lebanon, from Saudi Arabia, from Israel, from the United States of America, and from a lot of parts from Europe. The conference itself consisted of committee sessions, it consisted of open dialogue panels, it consisted of social events and guest speaker sessions. The idea was to work, to live, to eat together, and to experience fun as a concept together. And this idea of bringing people from all corners of the world together, especially the youth, and giving them a chance to experience the other in all of these aspects, working together scientifically, showing that you can actually move together towards a common goal. Having lunch together numerous times and living together in the same hotel, showing that a day-by-day interaction is not a problem whatsoever. And then also having social events together where people have the time and the chance to actually talk to each other in private, where there are no cameras, where there are no reporters, where there are no chairs watching them, but where they can just sit down together in the evening and talk about what they always wanted to know from the other one but never dared to ask. As such, the MJC is a dialogue project, but this is even more so a leadership project because it targets the future leaders from sectors of economics, academics, politics, in the start of their careers. And this youth presents a new generation of thinkers, doers, and allies. It presents a new generation that's connected by their belief in the possibility of a new era of cooperation. And in our personal view, we experienced all that by actually organizing it. The core team of the Muslim-Jewish Conference, Aisha and also Benjamin, I want to thank him, and the European Union of Jewish Students who also supported us a lot. I want to thank Rabbi Getch, who actually did the trip to Vienna and was there as one of our guest speakers. We showed to the world that interfaith, and especially interfaith connections on the youth level, can be strong only if we are given a chance to create them. And this is also what I think is the most important point here. Because we, the youth, we insist on once living in a world together that we're now imagining. And we're still young enough to believe that it's possible. And also, we have one credo in the Muslim-Jewish Conference, which I think sums up everything that we've been trying to put into scientific sentences. And that was, why do we organize a Muslim-Jewish Conference? Because the pronunciation of our names is no more barrier for friendship. And if we talk on the scale of Muslim and Jewish leaders about reconciliation and about tolerance, I think we have to talk about two different words if we come to the youth level, which are cooperation and friendship. And these two words indicate similar points than reconciliation and tolerance, but even more so, they indicate what's necessary to keep the youth in a progress that actually started a long time ago, but now is getting more organized. So I just want to tell you real quick what came out of this conference. A conference is always nice. You sit together for a week, you talk, and then everybody goes home. And then the big question is, what happens now? We were very proud at the Muslim-Jewish Conference that we established a 35-page declaration, which was unanimously drafted by 65 people from 25 countries. It deals with issues like Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. It deals with issues like the role of education or the role of the media in actually breaking down stereotypes and prejudices. But even more impressive from my personal point of view was what happened locally in the countries the people went back to. For example, the Weekend of Twinning was one of our first follow-up projects where we didn't do much. We just forwarded the information to the new network that we established in summer. And what happened? We had a Weekend of Twinning in Austria. We had a Weekend of Twinning in Hungary by the alumni network. We had an online Weekend of Twinning with participants from Nigeria, from Indonesia, from Pakistan, people that never would have had a chance to actually meet Jews in their country because there are no Jewish communities, or none of them that are big enough to actually meet them. We're having 5 Canadians that are running around every weekend organizing Muslim-Jewish Shabbat dinners in Toronto. We're having a Muslim in Mostar who's actively advocating for building a mosque in Mostar. We're having students in Sweden that are working on a sustainable dialogue project that can be established there. We're having students in Bulgaria that are working on a project to go through the streets in Bulgaria together to clean hate crimes from the walls. This is all just should be an indication for you that the youth that is always called upon, it's here. The activists in the youth that are always asked for, that want to be seen, they are existing. What we need as the youth, what we need from you as the leaders, as the established leaders of our communities, is the support to be able to coordinate all these initiatives. We as the MJC want to be more than just a conference that is there for 1 week, that brings everyone together and works like a summit. We want to be a real platform, and we're getting there at the moment as a grassroots organization. Now, the great thing about a grassroots organization is that, first of all, you don't have a hierarchy. Everybody is at the same scale part of the project. And if somebody has an exam to do or has different things in his life going on, the great thing about a grassroots organization is that other people step in and take over. The big problem of a grassroots organization, and that sounds very profound, is really the financial assets they have. Because grassroots organizations are students, they're young professionals, they're mostly activists that do this because they believe in the cause. But they do not have the financial possibility or any other capacity to actually build up these institutions by themselves. So what I'm trying to bring in this presentation here is to show you that the youth is here. It's active, it's determined, and by the outcome that we saw from the Muslim-Jewish Conference, by the emails that I received day by day, these young individuals are eager to keep working on interfaith and interreligious issues. They're eager to get the idea of the Muslim-Jewish Conference, the idea of the Weekend of Twinning, the idea of face-to-face meetings into their local countries. But what's really, really important, you do not reach the youth anymore today without the tools the youth is using. So what the Muslim-Jewish Conference and what we realized is that on the one hand, you need very traditional face-to-face meetings, you need conferences, you need summits where people can have a chance to talk to each other face-to-face, but you have to I repeat, you have to include the new media the young people are using at the moment. If you do not use these tools, you miss a huge group of people that have a chance to be actually part of this. So this is basically what we wanted to show with the Muslim Jewish Conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.